No, I'm always interested about Kazakhstan because I feel like the reputation's growing, you know?
Hey, where are you from once again? Afghanistan? Like, how did you learn such brilliant English? And I'm like, I'm sorry, first of all, I'm not from Afghanistan. They don't really know where Kazakhstan is, to be honest.
Somewhere with the horses and camels. Somewhere between there. No fish. I don't see that.
I walked into a shop and it's like, can you pay in QR code? And I was like, QR code? What does that even mean? I had no idea.
Yo, UK. Get in touch.
Welcome back, everyone. So this is the Jetil Podcast, and as usual, we are here to talk. And our guest from the previous episode, Bryn, is here.
I'm back.
He's from the UK, and we're about to discuss a new topic today. We're going to see a lot of things are interested. We're really interested in a lot of things. So, and Aidos, as usual, here.
We're back.
Second host.
The toxic mentor.
Yeah, and I mean, great. Nice to see you, everyone. Okay, so basically, previous time we touched upon the politics a little bit, and then I know you were searching when the January events happened here in Kazakhstan. I know you texted me, how are you doing, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
How you been doing, and so on and so forth. But I think at that time we didn't have internet connection at all.
Yeah, you never replied. I was like, what's happened? I was like, random. But that makes sense if they switched the internet off.
That was because, I mean, we didn't have internet
for 4 days.
access
4 days.
for
It was completely gone.
Completely. Like nothing at all.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Nothing.
We didn't know.
It turned out
Turns
as
out
it is, yeah.
Everybody started discussing offline business afterwards.
Sure. So that was terrible time, and then we've been. But you know how fast it all ended up. Like it was super fast, and then usually when riots happen in the country or in the cities, it takes months to hide all this and to get over this and so on. But the way in our country, like
Escalated super fast.
yeah, I mean now even. No one even really remembers it.
Yeah, it's
much.
it's like
a nightmare.
I was cursed, I'm sorry. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I have a question for Bryn. I mean, since you were there, you were in London that time, in the UK, right? So when all these events happened, and then what was the reaction of the West to this thing?
Well, people were aware it was happening. But no, I will be honest. Like normal kind of people like London and so on, they don't necessarily know that much about Kazakhstan. You know, I mean, there's a long way away. It's, you know, a relatively young country, at least on paper, and so on. So people didn't really understand it too much, and they just saw it as, you know, some kind of social unrest, which happens, you know, in all countries, to be honest. You know, London's had its riots in the past, and it continues to, and so on. So no, I can't tell you exactly what people were thinking. People were aware of what is happening, but I can't say they really understood it. That's for sure. Yeah. But I know obviously it was a major event for Kazakhstan.
I think it probably was lost in the news. I think a lot of. Yeah. I can imagine how many news, like, you know, just on the papers, on the internet, like Kazakhstan. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh yeah, something's going
What's
on
next?
there,
You
yeah.
know.
No, I'm always interested about Kazakhstan because I feel like the reputation's growing. You know, and I don't know. How about you guys? You guys are like, you know, you're Kazakhs. You're very international, speak fantastic English, travel the world, and so on. How do you like kind of deal with your identity and so on? How do people like you go when you meet people? Are they happy to hear you're from Kazakhstan? Are they interested and so on?
That's an interesting question, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I was a person as a person who has been traveling a lot of places. It's interesting how you see how the attitude towards you changes when you start speaking English. And they're like, hey, where are you from once again? Afghanistan? Like, how did you learn such brilliant English? And I'm like, I'm sorry, first of all, I'm not from Afghanistan. Yeah, that's right. And then it's kind of funny how people start treating you after they hear the way you speak, and then they kind of
they know you're international.
Yeah, and it's great. And then it's always interesting to see people's attitude towards you as you're from Kazakhstan. And then, of course, at at first they just kind of they don't really know where Kazakhstan is, to be honest. Like a lot of them, especially those who are in Japan or in the West. Yeah. I mean, Stan, okay, somewhere there. Like, okay, Anders, I got it.
Somewhere with the horses and camels. Somewhere between there. No fish. I don't see that.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I think you just said. I mean, comparatively we're a young country on the map, and then since our name is also like Stan, and then we're kind of maybe if we had other name. Maybe the situation would be a bit different, but still.
I think it will change maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. I hope it will change. Yeah. I think I prefer a Kazakh Republic or Kazakhia or something like this. Not Stan. So in China, when I was studying with these foreigners, my friends, and when you say you're from Kazakhstan, they don't really know. Like, okay, Chinese people know, but the foreigners, they don't. So
and even Chinese people, you have to pronounce Kazakhstan correctly, right?
Yeah, you have to let them know it is a country, it's our neighbor. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. So I know that it's not a famous country. So since I was a ex-playboy, so I had to, have my background straight. So what I had to do is, since I speak Turkish and we are related to Turkey, we're Turkish, right? So I tell everybody it's just Turkey. Like, we're from Turkey. Forget about it. Forget about Kazakhstan, because first of all, you cannot pronounce it. 2, you're gonna say Borat. 3, you're probably gonna imagine something else. So it's better I just say Turkey. So I was keeping it Turkey for a long time, to be honest. And then later, when we started hosting these international events like Expo 2017 and stuff,
Golovkin appeared.
Yeah, Golovkin appeared, and I started noticing Kazakhs are being seen everywhere in sports, in music industry, in Russia. We're becoming famous. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And now I'm super proud, to be honest. I'm everywhere I go, I'm like, yo, I'm from Kazakhstan. Everybody knows. I'm like, where is Kazakhstan or what is Kazakhstan, and. Recently, I was thinking, like, all these years, Kazakhs had some things that we are super proud of, like our air company, like the air carrier, Air Astana. Yeah. I'm super a fan of Air Astana. I fly only Air Astana, to be honest. Like, I fly anywhere in the country, outside of the country. If there is an international flight, I always choose Air Astana first as a priority, and then I choose like Turkish Airlines or Qatar Airways, something good. So I'm really proud of Air Astana. I think we've done a good job. The company did a good job. It's a good that they hired this a nice CEO, Peter Foster. He's from England, so he's doing a tremendous job. I like him, and we're proud of our Kaspi.
Like, we're proud of our technologies,
international
innovations
on international level. Like, Kaspi is you can just proudly say, yo, do you know what Kaspi is?
Yeah. And we were talking about it. We touched on this earlier, but I would say from my again outsider's opinion, I was very impressed by Kaspi. Like, this idea, I walked into a shop and it's like, can you pay in QR code? And I was like, QR code, what does that even mean? I had no idea. And
I'm not from future.
Exactly. That's me in 10 years' time. I would know, but not now. And so when I found out that you could pay by QR code and how quick it was, and the idea of like printing a card in like 60 seconds and so on, whilst I have to wait 2 weeks for mine to get processed and all of that kind of stuff, that's really impressive. That is the future of banking and so on. And that's if Kazakhstan continues in that vein, as we say, in that direction, and that's a really, really good thing. And so there's it just shows a lot of potential and stuff. And I'm looking forward to when the UK has got Kaspi style stuff.
UK. Get in touch. I got the connect.
Exactly.
And also the chocolate. The Kazakhstan chocolate.
Oh yeah.
The people are super proud of it.
Yeah. Is that the one with the big flag with the flag?
Yeah,
on?
With the flag on.
I bought some this morning.
Yeah, you ask anyone in Kazakhstan, what is the best chocolate in the world? They'll say Kazakhstan chocolate. Yeah. Right? Everyone agrees on that. I don't know, for some reason. There's something to it. There's something about this chocolate. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's just I'm not really.
It's not that sweet. It's not sour. It's like the golden milk.
And I just love how it's just got the flag on.
Yeah, it's been like this for decades. That's it. A flag. That's it. It's called Kazakhstan. Yeah. Okay. The factory, the company is called Rahat. But this brand, like everywhere you go out of the country, everybody, when you leave Kazakhstan, you always buy this chocolate. Everybody suggests you buy this chocolate.
It's a good marketing also.
Yeah, you see,
to put a flag on the chocolate. So yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about the things we're proud of. Yeah, for 18 million people, I think for such not a lot of population, we did a great job. And then I can also emphasize the thing with the IT technologies and innovations and so on. Because recently we visited the Jetil Bridge 22, which has been held in Astana.
Yep.
Astana, hopefully not.
It is officially Astana. So
yeah, officially. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of impressed by what the companies are doing nowadays. IT companies, especially the recent one, Kaspi, and then it was actually the main partner of this Jetil Bridge. Mm-hmm. They were as sponsors. Cool. Kaspi. Nice. Yeah, and also Freedom Finance company. I mean, we're not actually putting a product placement here, but we should, I think, say about this.
And so there's a sense that like the kind of tech sector is growing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
you can feel it actually.
Yeah, you can feel it, and then you go and then you see how most of the CEOs, most of the directors, they're younger generation people. Like they're so smart. A lot of them are from the Nazarbayev University. Some of them from the KTL, like Kazakh Turkish Lyceum, and so on and so forth. And then you see those intelligent people, young intelligent people who have very high ambitions towards achieving something, towards changing the country from inside. And then you kind of you start believing in a country.
I do believe in them.
Start believing in the younger generation that something is actually changing.
Did you notice they're also very patriotic?
Patriotic, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I really like it. And then, I mean, since I was a part of this community, and then since I am the part of this community, I always go like to this kind of meetings and conferences. And then you always feel yourself proud of this. That, of course, some of them are your like rivals, your competitors, and then, but still, I mean, you're super proud of each team that they're doing such a great job in IT technologies. I mean, maybe we're not that good in the infrastructure, but we're doing a good job in IT. That's for sure.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll definitely
especially fintech companies like Kaspi, Freedom, and so on. Now, as I do know, they are investing a lot of money.
Your question?
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to ask about. Was like I've heard that cryptocurrency is like a big thing in Kazakhstan. Sorry, like what's that all about?
I think it's true because I mean we've seen it. I mean from our own experience, like during the January events, like when we fucked off the internet and then we turned it off completely, and then as I do remember the cost of crypto, like it went down. Is it? It was so, right?
After January, yeah, it was dropping ever since. Now, actually, I'm learning how to trade crypto from a guy who's 10 years younger than me. Like, Madi knows this year, like, I told myself, I'm going to make 10 new friends, like, preferably younger than me. So most of them are like younger. Madi is younger than me for like 9 years, and the guy is like 10 years, and I'm learning from them. So crypto is, the Kazakhstan is becoming, it is already a big player in the crypto world.
Because as far as I understand, they banned it in China near enough, then they banned it near in Russia, and then so everyone just moved to Kazakhstan, and then you've got quite cheap energy as well, and it requires a lot of that. So it's an interesting thing to keep your eye on.
And our president is very this crypto friendly guy. He's pushing towards to develop this this side of business, like the mining or like crypto trade. Of course, the government they will always try to centralize it.
Not to the same extent as the president, I think, of El Salvador. Have you heard about him? Yeah. He's obsessed with crypto. And they put a lot of their national kind of savings, their wealth fund, into crypto. And then obviously a few months ago it kind of dropped quite a lot, and people were quite unhappy there. But I don't know, maybe in the long term it'll change. But I'm just interested, if you get relatively kind of young country like Kazakhstan investing in these new technologies and so on.
Interesting. Nowadays, when you travel, sometimes if you want to pay for some services, just ask, like, do you accept crypto? You'll be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I pay crypto for jet skis in Dubai. A friend of mine paid for a tennis court also in crypto in Thailand. Like, for just locals.
Kind of its
Yeah.
kind.
So there's no point for you to go to the ATM and take out cash.
But I mean, the point to add, I think, later on we were discussing on this topic during the Digital Bridge, and I asked this question personally to the Silicon Valley representatives, and they were sitting there, and I asked them like directly, do you think, the question was, what do you think about all this cryptocurrency? Is it a right time to invest into crypto? Because I mean, we've been talking a lot about decentralized system and so on, but as you do remember, the current situations, the current events in Kazakhstan showed us that, well, it's not always reliable because you can just turn off the internet and things go absolutely wrong. So they were like, I think there were a couple of guys, they were from US, and then they were replying, and then there was also Turlov, who said that in Timur Turlov, he said, if cryptocurrency doesn't change itself in the nearest future, basically he said, if it doesn't change, it's like,
or centralized.
Yeah, centralized somehow. Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. Like he personally doesn't invest into cryptocurrency. Turlov, he doesn't invest in cryptocurrency. That's
crazy.
for sure.
I thought he would be like a huge crypto guy.
No, he doesn't. He said it in a lot of interviews. He emphasizes it all the time that he doesn't really have anything in common with the cryptocurrency. So he always says that it has to be changed somehow, the form of the cryptocurrency, because the way people overestimate it, sometimes what people sometimes overestimate may turn into something good. Yeah. But there are other cases when some things that are overestimated may just, how we say, like,
It
a
might
bubble.
end up like a bubble.
It's a
and
question,
blow.
they call it your risk appetite. If you have a high risk appetite, you can invest and your returns will be greater. If you have a low risk appetite, your returns will be less, but they might be a little safer. Yeah.
I also met this gentleman from England, Ken Fulton. He came to, he's a banker, he's a financial advisor of some investors. He comes, finds a legit projects in Central Asia, and then he gets the fund. Like he's a very connected person. So ask him also, since he knows a lot about finance and investment. He's from England. So he says it's a bubble. He says it's a bubble. It's gonna blow up. Which was very it was very surprising to hear that. But like you said, like Turlov said, I think it is. I also support this idea because since it's untraceable, these transactions, which is it can be very dangerous. You can fund wars with this type of transactions. So when you have centralization somehow, somehow connected to the government, that's what our president is meaning. President is saying, it's okay to deal with crypto, but find a way so that we can monitor this your transactions. Where is it going? If it's gonna end up like that, then I think it's a long term. I think it's the future of banking. Or if they don't change, the banks will change very soon. Like fintech companies like Kaspi, they can. I think they're gonna evolve to something like this in the future because we don't. I have some bank cards that I don't even have physically. I don't have those cards. I have it on my phone. Yeah. I have it in the app. Every time I need to fill some papers with my bank information, I open the app. They give me always one-time password. So I open it and I can see the information and then I can close it. So nobody can steal your card. You don't have to block it, which is a nice thing. I think in the very near future, like in 5 to 10 years, we will lose all these cards. It all is there. So crypto is gonna, I think somehow they're gonna be a joint project, I think, with banks, because I don't think banks will allow, or the central banks, although, you know, whoever is in charge, I don't think they will allow this to go through like this. If the crypto is surviving at the moment, that means it is useful at the moment.
Yeah.
I think.
What's the attitude to cryptocurrency in the West, like specifically in the UK?
I can't say I'm an expert. I mean, I don't have much experience with it at all, but it's definitely people are talking about it more. And, you know, there's a lot of volatility around it. And, you know, it's because of that, it's very much dependent on the type of person, if they're interested in it. But no, it's a big topic, and there are certain kind of digital banks in the UK, you know, not quite to the level of Kaspi, but they do offer options where you can like store at least a part of your money in, you know, one of the safer kind of more well-known cryptocurrencies and so on. And so it's growing, but as you say, there are problems around regulation, around AML and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll just have to keep an eye out, see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that I think it came really fast to the market generally, like the crypto stuff and so on. And then people, I mean, I know our people's mentality, unfortunately, in here in Kazakhstan. And then they're like, oh, okay, something as crypto appeared, so then it means we can gain money really fast. You know, like, it means, and they start maining. Yeah, they start maining and then
get rich quick.
Kind of starting all those farms of cryptocurrency, like mining.
There are a lot of mines, actually. A lot of
and then, you know,
mining is going on here.
I mean, maybe it's a good way to make money, yeah, for sure. But then, come on, I mean, it's all just like temporary, in my personal opinion. Like it's so much fast, and then if it bubbles. Or do you remember those NFT trainers, NFT sneakers that appeared, that you walk around and then you gain money? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think in the future it's gonna be, I think it's gonna happen. Like, it doesn't matter if we want or not. I think it's gonna be really weird times to live, because to be alive. In my head, what I imagine the future is, you see, we are getting so integrated into our cell phones that I'm pretty sure that we'll install a microphone in our head. You know, we'll have our IDs and bank information in our hand. You know, we will chipped very easily. And since we need a screen, right? We need a screen to look at. So it will be lenses. You know,
lenses, or there are glasses.
Yeah, like glasses or lenses, so you can see. Yeah, you can think about it. You can think about a person and then dial him and talk to him and text message. So I think that is where we are going. And so the NFTs, now it's useful now. I can look at Bryn and he might be wearing a $5,000 sneakers. I can only see with these lenses. If I take them off, I cannot see it. I cannot see the price tag on it. And you'll be sitting here with a jacket that costs $10,000. And nobody can rob you. That's the point of NFT. Nobody can rob you on that, you know, and they know that you got money. They know that you got this crazy collection. Oh man, he got like $10,000 jacket, and I can see it like this. So I think that's the future of flexing.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
You understand?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's like where this thing's going, and you trade this NFTs with your cryptocurrency. Yeah. But crypto, like you said, the government will try their best to regulate it, but for some reason, I think it's going to be super hard. The only way you can stop crypto is just cutting off internet, but you cannot cut off internet anywhere in the world. All the bank transactions are going through internet. You know, we don't send money with telegraphs anymore. So yeah, that I think that's what the future is looking like. You know, so you go to U.S. Embassy to get a visa, you just, you know, give them your hand, they just scan you and they'll see where you're born, who are you, like what do you do for life. They know everything. And social media, your pages on Instagram, like Facebook, it's like a passport already.
Sure.
Like when you apply for visa, they ask like, what's your social network accounts.
Yeah,
They
sure.
just
And
look at
apply
you.
for a job, they'll be looking at your
So
socials
can you
as
imagine
well.
if you put all of that
Yeah.
in a chip and put it in your hand?
Well, judging by Kaspi, if
Like
it's going to
so
happen, it'll happen in Kazakhstan first.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. You know, a police stops you. You know, police pulls you over. There's like documents. You don't have to know documents. Just give him a hand. They scan. It's like, oh, okay, Bryn, where are you going? Going home? England? I think those are like it's gonna be fun times. I think. But still, there's a bad side of it because they might block you anytime they want when you don't obey.
What do you think about people's reaction to that? Like entering,
Oh, it's gonna be wild.
embedding certain chips.
It's
into
gonna be wild. It's gonna be very wild and it's gonna be fun. I'll be one of the first to do it. Like I'll go and like apply for it real quick because I obey the laws. To be honest, I'm like a really nice citizen. To be honest, in Kazakhstan, I pay my taxes. Everything's clear. If you're like that, then it's okay for you.
Yeah.
If you're up to something, if you're doing something, of course, like you'll be blocked. Can you imagine being blocked? You can do anything. You can call nobody. You can, pay. Yeah, you can go out of country. It's like you're being followed everywhere.
Have you ever seen the movie called? It's actually the British, the English movie TV series. It's called
Dark Mirror.
Dark Mirror.
Like it's like each series different.
Yeah. It's
something like this.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I
brilliant.
watched only few series of it, but I think it's brilliant.
It's probably the future. They just showed the future.
It is
going to be.
Look at the population. It's not growing, right? Especially in the West, they suppress the masculinity. They suppress how men should behave. Don't scream. Don't yell. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Yeah, I guess so. I had a question. So, Kazakhstan going forward, things to look out for. We've talked about, like tech, finance, maybe cryptocurrency, this idea that, the country's becoming, it's very open, hospitable and so on. For me as an outsider, looking at Kazakhstan, what should I be looking for the country going forward? Like what's it going to be?
I mean, you're talking about what you expect from a certain sphere.
Well, I just want to know what, how do you see, what will the country be in, like 5, 10, 15 years in your
That's a very hard question, I guess. I mean, it's for a reason that, I mean, it's very hard to put any long-term, aims and goals, and then you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there is a war going on in the world, and then we're neighboring those countries that are into the war now, and then it's very hard to predict or to say something about that. But I think, in my personal opinion, it's that if we chose this direction that we are going now, and then if we keep going this way, I think we'll develop as a country, as as we just mentioned, the technologies and so on. We should just be neutral, super neutral nowadays, and be friends with any possible neighbors. Yeah, friends with everyone. And then
I agree with you. I also support our president's vision on this. He says that we need to have a very predictable relationship with the West. And I think this is the right way we're facing. And I also think Kazakhstan as a future major player in our region should remain a neutral country, because the region is full of this third world countries. Still a lot of work to be done here. So I think Kazakhstan should remain, like you said, a neutral country, and internationally it should be recognized. I think the UN should, also
similar to like
Kazakhstan.
Switzerland or something, who have this idea of being quite
support. Because even if you look at the map, there's a huge gap between these countries. For example, in Asia, like there's Singapore, there's Hong Kong, there's Tokyo, Seoul, right? Beijing, like major cities. And there's a huge gap. And then it goes to London, Paris, right? Paris, London, and then it goes to America. So this gap should be filled with Kazakhstan. I think Kazakhstan is ideal candidate country for this role, and it's Astana. Astana Financial Center, the Astana hub. I think Astana should be the major city, the biggest city of Central Asia, which connects the dots of the international financial system, I think. So
and so you talk about Kazakhstan having this neutral role within, Eurasia and whatever, and in Central Asia. But do you think it also should have a kind of a leadership role, particularly within Central Asia, because it's the richest country of the stands, for want of a better word. It's the biggest country. It's not the biggest population, but to what extent should it be kind of saying to the neighbors, not Russia, but at least the other Kyrgyzstan and so on, and kind of leading the region globally.
I think Kazakhstan cannot name himself as or claim this, or let's say we're the leaders, but economically, I think Kazakhstan will be a leader, and we might have some influence to our neighbors. I think that way is good enough. To we don't want to influence in a
malign
fashion
way.
And I also think Russia's government is going through some changes now. I think it will change. It's my personal opinion that I think there will be a new president. I think there will be a new government, a new parliament in Russia, which will bring a certain peace. I think Russia will, at the end, make peace with the West, make peace with the neighbors. I think, and Kazakhstan will take over from there. Yeah, because this Kazakhstan did some PR stunts this year, very, very big PR stunts. That was crazy. So, in this case, I support our president, our government, fully. I support the minister of innovations. Yeah, that he's a young guy. He has a vision, and I also believe in our youth, the younger generation, that they're coming up with these new ideas.
Because you do get the sense, again, an outside opinion, that the younger generation is quite vibrant and quite active, as it were, and that's not the case in every country, to be honest. So that's a good asset to have, as it were.
Yeah, people are the assets, man. So maybe 10 years ago, we didn't have this hope, to be honest. Me personally, I didn't have much hope for Kazakhstan. I was always thinking what should we expect? I don't know, where are we going? How long is it gonna last? But now, even though these crazy situations are around the country, in neighboring countries, things going on in the world, but for some reason, we feel calm. We feel calm, we feel confident.
That's right. Okay, thank you guys for joining to our podcast today. We've done it, and that was the 5th episode of our Jetil Podcast. Thank you, Bryn, for joining to our podcast.
Nice conversation.
It was nice.
Thank you, Bryn.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.